Another NASCAR silly season domino has fallen as it has been officially announced that Nick Sanchez will join Big Machine Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said today, we got some pretty major breaking news as it has been officially announced that Nick Sanchez will join Big Machine Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025, driving the number 48 car for Big Machine Racing. Here's a statement from Big Machine Racing. Nick Sanchez will drive the number 48 Big Machine Vodka Spike Cooler Chevrolet in the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series as announced today by Scott Borchetta, CEO and owner of Big Machine Racing. The team also announced Gamebridge, a Group 1001 company, as an associate sponsor on the number 48 entry. Sanchez, 23, of Miami, Florida, joins Big Machine Racing from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, where he has won twice this season, driving a number 2 Gamebridge Chevy Silverado with Rev Racing. He is, of course, a 2022 ARCA Menard Series champion and drove for Big Machine Racing in the same year when he drove the 48 in 6 Xfinity Series races. Here's what Scott Borchetta said. He says, in 2022, he put Nick in our car for a handful of races, and he was fast right out of the gate, said Borchetta. At Martinsville in particular, I watched him go full on, elbows out, putting the car right where it needed to be, with no fear against the best of the best in the series. Since then, he's done a fantastic job in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and I know that he and crew chief Patrick Donahue and the entire Big Machine Racing team are going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2025. Gamebridge is an innovative digital platform, of course, all that kind of stuff. And Gamebridge is excited for Nick and will continue to support him as he advocates through the ranks of NASCAR, said Group 1001 President and CEO Dan Towers. We are looking forward to following during this year's Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs of Rev Racing and next year's Xfinity Series with the Big Machine Racing family. I couldn't be more excited to join the Big Machine Racing with Chevy next year in the Xfinity Series, commented Sanchez. I'm grateful to get that opportunity to work with Scott Borchetta, Patrick Donahue, and the whole Big Machine team next year. This amazing opportunity would not be possible without Big Machine Records, Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers, Chevrolet, Gamebridge, the NASCAR Diversity Program, Rev Racing, Bono, and everyone at Spire who makes this dream a reality. As a driver, I feel like I'm ready to move to the next level, and I look forward to competing for wins and ultimately a championship next year, driving a 48 for Big Machine Racing. Obviously, we already knew that Parker Kligerman would not be returning to Big Machine Racing for the 2025 season. Of course, he will not even be full-time in 2025. And we kind of were wondering up until about a day after who was going to be getting this opportunity. And I think they've chosen a really good replacement for Parker Kligerman. Like I mentioned a second ago, Nick Sanchez has had a really solid season in 2024. Well, he hasn't won 10 races like he kind of wished he had gotten this year. He has still scored 2 Truck Series wins, those coming at Daytona and at Charlotte. And I think Nick Sanchez has a lot of potential to do a lot of great things. He's also got an ARCA championship in 2022, and very likely this year will end up making the championship in the Truck Series and could win the Truck Series race tomorrow night as well. I think that Nick is going to do a really strong job next year in 2025. I remember when he made select starts for Big Machine Racing in the Xfinity Series last year or 2 years ago, and he did a really good job with that team. I think he got a top 10 with the organization and was really fast the other 5 races that he ran as well. Now, you also saw that too. Gamebridge is going to be part of this program. That's going to be some cash that Big Machine is going to be able to use to bring into that program to really grow their sponsorship portfolio. Well, of course, Scott Borchetta is going to sponsor the team, having Gamebridge part of it, which means they could have a technical alliance with Spire in a way which could lead to some Spire drivers. If Big Machine decides to run a second car at some point next year, this could lead to that being a potential possibility where they could open up a second car. Now, what are my realistic expectations for Nick Sanchez in 2025? Realistically, I think Nick Sanchez could win a couple races in 2025. I've seen Parker Kligerman get that 48 car running well this year, and I think Parker's a really good driver. Parker's gotten that car inside the top 10 in the regular season standings for a majority of the season and will likely end up making the playoffs in 2025. And I think you look at 2025 as well for the future. Nick has a lot of potential. I think Nick will win a race or two next year, though the Xfinity Series is going to be very competitive, which we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I think Nick will make the playoffs next year. I think he's going to do a really strong job in 2025. And again, I do think he's got a really strong chance and opportunity to get a win or two in Xfinity in 2025. And he's going to join a very elite rookie class next year. We've got Connor Zilic, who picked up his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series victory at Watkins Glen this past week. He's going to be joining drivers like Christian Eckes as well. Christian is a very talented prospect, in my opinion. He's done a really good job in the Truck Series, is one of the favorites to win the Truck Championship currently at the moment, and I certainly think he's going to do an excellent job over at College Racing next year. And I think about some other drivers that might be moving up. There's rumors of Taylor Gray moving up to Xfinity to join Joe Gibbs Racing. And there's also, of course, rumors of William Sawaj, another highly touted prospect who might also be moving up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series full-time in 2025. I expect this to be a really huge year for the rookie battle. It's going to be a really tough rookie class, and I'm so excited to see this. Now, obviously, drivers like Shane Van Gisbergen and Cole Custer, and most likely Riley Herbst, are not going to be in Xfinity next year, but you're going to have a lot of stout competition. Guys like Justin Allgaier next year. Guys, of course, like Connor Zilic, like I mentioned. Sammy Smith, who's going to be back with Junior Motorsports next year. You're going to have Brandon Jones back over at Joe Gibbs Racing in 2025. You're going to have other guys coming in. You're going to have Daniel Dye moving up. It's another driver part of the Rookie of the Year battle I forgot to mention. He's going to be going for the Rookie of the Year this year in 2025. You're going to have Josh Williams back next year. There's a potential possibility of Harrison Byrne being in the Xfinity Series next year. You've got other drivers like Carson Quaffle, who could also be running for the Rookie of the Year next year. It's going to be very exciting to see how everything plays out for 2025. But going back to Nick Sanchez, this is a huge deal for Nick. I think he's got a lot of potential to win a Cup Series championship one day, and I do expect that he is going to be a major championship contender and championship threat in 2025. Well, not maybe a championship threat, but I do think he's going to be a playoff threat. And I think with that money, like I said, coming in from Gamebridge to work with the group next year, I think it's really going to be huge for the team and organization going into 2025. I'm excited for Nick. This is a fantastic, great opportunity for him. And I do expect that Nick will be a major threat and contender to be up front on a week-by-week basis. I think ECR is also working with this team once again in 2025, which I think is really going to help this program going into the 2025 season. And I think it's going to help Nick in a very massive and major way going into 2025. I expect Nick to be pretty competitive next season. So that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Nick Sanchez. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, and if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Nick Sanchez is going to perform in 2025? Do you think he'll make the playoffs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later today on the channel, I'll have NASCAR Xfinity Series race picks for Bristol Motor Speedway. Then tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have NASCAR Cup Series race picks for Bristol. And we're also going to have the paint skin video dropping along with the Truck Series race review as well. Then on Friday, there's probably going to be a NASCAR news video dropping. But if not, all you're going to see is the reactions to Cup Series qualifying and also most likely reactions to Xfinity and SVG video as well. And then, of course, on Saturday, we'll have reactions to the Cup Series race and some other content dropping throughout the week as well. I got a lot of great content dropping this weekend that I cannot wait for you guys to talk and check out. We got some Haley Deegan content drop maybe in the future, maybe Carlos Kurt Busch as well. And we'll talk about a lot of these drivers that could be racing. Same with Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson, those guys who will be racing. And same with Bubba Wallace as well, who will be competing in the Cup Series race as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.